Alright, are you working? Yes, it is. So, as you can see, we do some Warframe. We are very close to getting Naramon finished. So now we have to do with Matarai. What did I get? Okay, so we just need 2 million to get that. I think Varzarin's the other one. Yeah, Varzarin. And that should be it. Yeah. I'll double check quick though. Yeah, that's everything so far. So we're gonna try our best to get all the focus we can for Naramon and the other ones. Oh, hold on. Yeah, his body's on, so let me switch audio.
Always a pleasure. That's all from me.
History teaches us that we long for a better world, but hunger too quickly to do anything about it. This is too much, but I will accept it.
Well, well, well. Looks like some serious crud is going down out there. Here's to you, anonymous troublemaker.
Impressive, isn't she? The relentless hunting shadow of the Night of Naga Drums. The last thing many an Orokin lord ever saw. Varuna, she-wolf incarnadine. The heart of the pack, hunter of godprey. We remember her as a primal horror. The pitiless devourer, stalking burning cities of white and gold, slavering for godflesh. This was not always so. Once, Varuna was the obedient guardian of the Circulus, the holiest of Yuvan temples, upon none other than veiled Lua. Like a loyal beast, Varuna would roam Lua with her 4 steel-maned wolves, the stealthy Dainar, the invigorating Raksh, the stalwart Lycath, and the fierce Ulfron. But what they were sworn to guard was perverse, wrong. In a ceremony reeking of Kuva, the Orokin candidate would force their consciousness into the new chosen body, the Yuvan, consigning the mind of the hapless former owner to oblivion. They call this life-extending process continuity. Executor Tuval was one of the ruling 7 and head of the Yuvan clerisy, high-ranking officiators who enacted the hideous ritual, all of whom were now all dead, torn apart, all save for Tuval. No man pursued. He abandons his family to that night of horrors, his friends to the flames, and whips his slaves to ferry his decrepit, dying body to his personal ship. Destination? Void-locked Lua. Purpose? To initiate one final ceremony. To trade one last body, one last life for his own, before the Empire burned. To slip the noose and escape the relentless hunting shadow that had, one by one, in just one night, found and eviscerated every last one of his clerisy peers. The shadow that had once protected them. I never liked Tuval. What followed made me loathe him even more. Here is Dainar, the Shadowed. He gave Varuna the gift of stealth, that she might only take by surprise, but never be taken. Let us speak of what made the Circulus special. The first Void Conjunction. It came suddenly, steeping Lua in malevolent, lashing void stuff. Within the moonplasm, thoughts took horrifying physical forms. Images dredged up from childhood nightmares or adult neuroses were abruptly tangible and real. Madness overtook many. It was to this place, the Circulus, that Tuval fled, through a void tormented by an extremely unusual conjunction. Thrashing eddies, violent currents, and the appearance of horrifying beasts never seen before or since. It was as if, some have noted, the fabric of the universe echoed the upheaval, tearing apart the fabric of the origin system. Coincidence? I have lived too long to believe so, but can provide no explanation greater than that. Hoping against hope that the void would keep the shadow that stalked him from picking up his trail, Tuval touched down upon the powdery skin of sacred Lua. What Tuval lacked in loyalty, he made up for with rat cunning. He should have known better. It is unclear precisely why Lua is a site of very special void conjunctions, but enacting continuity within the Circulus and Uvarium thereupon guaranteed a safe and strong transition, so long as certain rituals were correctly observed, a privilege reserved only for the Seven themselves. Imagine the scene as the innocent Yuvan would have witnessed it, the vivid insanity of it all. The appointed soprana, bridging the gap between worlds with her song. The Orokin executor, shrilling the ritual words. The bone-white void creeping in on all fronts. The Kuva, steaming scarlet in its glass bowl. And the imposing wolf giant, Varuna, pacing the perimeter. 4 loyal wolves at her side. This wolf you see here is Raksh, the Defender, Varuna's own loyal guardian, as she protected her Orokin overlord from whatever madnesses the Void Conjunction would bring, of which there were many. And on that night, Tuval had no such guardian. Quite the opposite. Now, Tuval would need flesh into which he could pass, but the shipments of fresh young bodies from across the system were no more. Tuval, we will see, had laid a dark contingency. Rat cunning, as I said. The third of Varuna's wolves, Lycath, the stalwart brother, the provider, and soul of the pack. We know that Varuna and her wolves had served rite after rite. She had watched the mists and savagely destroyed anything that menaced the ceremony, flanked by Lycath's fury. The Yuvan ceremony, continuity as they called it, was an obscenity. The Orokin elite, aged and foul, would slouch and leer as the Yuvan, young men and women cultivated on Red Mars and worlds beyond for this dire purpose, were paraded before them. They would make their choice, conduct the ritual, and then, well, that young life would be gone. And when those eyes opened once more, it would be their murderer looking out from behind them. Is it any wonder Varuna, freed from the leash of loyalty, was so intent upon making a meal of the Yuvan clerisy? I think not. Let's get to dessert, shall we? Behold, Ulfrun the Fierce, the most formidable of Varuna's sept. Executor Tuval scrambled to set up the ritual room. This time, the ceremony was different. Instead of a soprana, there was a mere mandochord playing automated notes. And, instead of the prepared Yuvan, there was a most unusual cryopod containing a young child, sleeping peacefully. The aforementioned contingency. In Tuval's hands, so it is said, were an artifact and a codex belonging to none other than Albrecht Entrati himself, father of void travel, and a man who had sacrificed his sanity to it. Tuval opened the book to pages strange and profane. We know this, having retrieved it from the site much later. It is my belief that Tuval intended to protect himself from the horrors the void would unleash, using what amounted to a madman's grimoire. A desperate act indeed. I like to imagine that as he parted his withered lips to begin the ceremony, to call down the void, that was the moment he heard Ulfrun's ravening howl. From void signatures, evidence at the site, and what recording technology survived that once-in-a-lifetime void conjunction, I infer the following. Forgive an old man some dramatic license. The kuva was poured, the lamps were lit, and the ritual of continuity began. As Tuval intoned the barbarous versicles of continuity, a horde the breadth of which had never before been seen at such a ceremony massed in the gathering void. Things with 2 heads or none, lopsided, broken-horned, perhaps drawing their being from Tuval himself, as if expressions of his vice. At this moment, I believe Varuna and her pack attacked, hoping to end the ceremony before it began. No such luck. The circle's site was later found to be treacherous with the remnants of slain abominations. Varuna and her wolves tore into the manifestations, rending with axe and fang, while Tuval droned on, panicked. The pack hacked and tore their way through the throng toward him. Why was Tuval not the first to fall? I cannot answer. Perhaps Albrecht's work had something to it. Or perhaps those beasts simply understood that this wretched old man was the only thing keeping the door open for them. Tremors shook the surface of Lua, and a great cry rang out, like that of a mother crying for her children. Tuval sweated. The kuva trembled in its bowl. Varuna was relentless, demons falling to blade and fang. But it was not enough. The hordes of the void are without number, and this one, if hell has a hell, then those monsters knew it well. Gentle-eyed Raksh was the first to fall to scything blades. They killed Lycath next, then Dinar, and Ulfrun last of all. Varuna had howled many times before, in hunger, in anger, and in triumph. But now, for the first time, she howled in grief. Varuna trod and swung without relent toward the circle, carrying by their silver scruffs the severed heads of her fallen, beloved wolves, severed from their dead bodies by her own hand. With one last ululating cry, Tuval's ritual reached its peak. Within the crypod, the child's eyelids fluttered, and Varuna staggered. In what scratchy stills survived in void-corrupted data masses, what I saw between child and Warframe was recognition. Tuval took some meager scrap of courage from this delay and reached for the bowl of kuva, now boiling and steaming with weird energies. Varuna struck him aside and seized the energized kuva, not for herself, but for her wolves. Holding it high, she doused herself and her slain packmates with it. Embraced by the seething crimson glow, connective tissue propagated, sinew reached for bone, and within that marriage of occultism and science, she and her beloved wolves became one. Her brethren lived again in her. Varuna was now and evermore the heart of the pack. Cheated of his continuity, Tuval turned to flee. But his former warden was having none of it. Those who came after found nothing but gnawed bones, some of them unusually long, twisted within shreds of white gold raiments. Good. I did salvage one final image from those void-corrupted data masses, however. That of Varuna herself, striding back toward her craft, the child cradled in her arms. Curious.
If you're here for relics, you might have to crack a few before you get what you're after. Good. Don't rush into things.
Hush now. Let us spill some blood. But we dare not disturb Albrecht's slumbering progeny. I believe the meaning of this is quite clear. Death, and a great deal of it. Early in my career, if I may, it is not what you kill, but who you kill that matters in the end. So, get out there and kill someone special. The refractory is trying to purge Marie from the system. However amusing that is, if it succeeds, this venture is over.
we finally figure out how to make gold from lead? Magnifique!
This... I admit, I am having trouble discerning where its origins might lie in my memories.
I do not know which is more troubling, when you can recall or when you cannot. Just about to light the candles. Is there a purpose to your story? In this desolation of the devil's mind, we take what shelter we can. We fight on. Guide you.
Speed would be important when on the battlefield, I suppose. Such machines. What empty scars they must leave in their wake. Yet without them, no progress is to be made.
this groveling. It mocks us with all its greed. It must be vanquished, for decency's sake.
This war you fought, Rose, was it truly madness to such a degree as this?
Was it this charmingly fantastical? No. Does this capture the level of egregious cruelty and mindless horrific butchery? Yes.
Mindless destruction. Perhaps this is a memory of the devils from when he was a little boy smashing his toys. This light, it is not of soul. It is the searing attention of scrutiny. It will burn you if you let it.
Like an unfortunate urchin, Father Leon Allard has become caught in the machinery. If this descent is to continue, best make sure he is not chewed to pieces.
bushel, as the saying goes. Seek out the sinner amongst them. Here you are safe. Yes, onward. We descend.
Chase the drone, catch the drone. Did the devil play children's games once, long ago?
Rummage through my things. Take what you need. It's not like I can stop you. Yet.
This is a kingdom built with my mind, and I, its emperor, I command you all, obey me, stand down!
There are no servants here for you to scream at, Wrath. Only far braver souls than you.
Hunting with a covard. We used to set them on convicts back in my day. Splendid for working up an appetite.
own psyche we find a shrine to himself. Why am I not surprised?
fight back? Familiar. The only problem is narrowing it down. I have learned enough, Drifter. I am whole enough. Stop here and turn back. Leave this place now.
Leon. Fire silences them all.
Shield us with your grace. Bless our blades with your light.
Enough of this.
This part.
Welcome.
Lucid nightmares in a golden pond. How Orokin.
The cost of war. Bloodshed. potion, as the saying goes. Seek out the sinner amongst them.
The refractory is trying to purge Marie from the system. However amusing that is, if it succeeds, this venture is over.
we finally figure out how to make gold from lead. Magnifique! Why could you not summon a memory of a quaint summer picnic? Espèce d'énorme casse-pied.
Why, I deeply apologize that my memories of war are troubling you so, Marie. You are welcome to depart at any time. There is the door.
here, I might gather you into... Come. Soul's light has not abandoned you yet, and neither have I. We fight on. Soul, be in your heart.
Speed would be important when on the battlefield, I suppose.
We went to town to make a new and glorious home for ourselves. Resources were simply required to begin again.
Demon, this grozzling, it mocks us with all its greed. It must be vanquished, for decency's sake. suffering begins to feel like great boulders. One more upon my shoulders with each flow.
Indeed. Imagine what it was like to live this kind of carnage in the waking world, Marie.
Mindless destruction. Perhaps this is a memory of the devils from when he was a little boy smashing his toys.
Usually, I relish tension, but I recommend staying out of the light. Trust me.
The devil's depravity has drawn Leon into its vortex. You must keep him safe.
saying goes. Seek out the sinner amongst them. You are whole. Fear not. Lua shields us. Yes, onward. We descend.
Chase the drone, catch the drone. Did the devil play children's games once, long ago?
Rummage through my things. Take what you need. It's not like I can stop you. Yet.
Lua be with us. Stay with us now.
Come, shadows of my past. Wage siege upon my mind all you like. You did not defeat me then, and you shall not defeat me now!
Hunting with a covard. We used to set them on convicts back in my day. Splendid for working up an appetite. Society was rotten through with ritual. I dimly recall some ceremony or other like this one. Offerings, tribute. massacre of targets that do not fight back? Familiar. The only problem is narrowing it down.
Drifter, stop! Stop immediately! There are memories that are buried for good reason, and I command you to leave! Save the pain. Do you smell burn? Baptism of brimstone for you!
Guide the devil's hand!
Enough of this!
Inefficient, but effective.
The fastest way to locate Pazul's Archons is to upload me to Narmer's systems. I shall be strong where he was not. Terminal spotted. Upload me and prepare to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Still working on it. Continue to defend. Terminal hacked. Keep moving. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Still working on it. Continue to defend. Completed. Move on. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Here is a terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Still working on it. Continue to defend. Have the Archon's trail. The hunt can begin. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
First key. Right. Find a matching conduit. Demo units looking to depart this mortal coil and take you with it. Keep it clear of that conduit. Demo unit incoming. Don't let them near the conduit. Demo unit coming in fast. That thing bows and you can kiss the conduit goodbye. Hope you're not done. Had to pay Maru a small fortune in rations for this tip. Wakey, wakey! Here we go! Next verse, same as a first. Mind you don't get flanked.
Freedom from desire and responsibility alike. Find freedom and surrender, as I did.
Hear that beeping? Demo unit's on its way. Old Alad call you lot betrayers anyway. No matter. Care for another kick at a conduit?
We will examine this hall in detail. We will learn Narmer's secrets.
Examine your own heart, Neta. Peel back its blackened layers and look deep.
Shiny's secured and we're in the wind. I'll send your cut via the usual. Have a good one.
Alright, well, apologies for being mute for the majority of the stream. As usual, I was talking, so apologies. You know, whatever. So, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do the upcount, we're gonna do some other stuff. Then I'm gonna call it a Warframe stream. Yeah, I'm gonna save the rifle with Volley, because, I mean, it's her rifle and blah, 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 so. Meh.
Be on guard, Tenno. Archon Amar is stalking his prey. This is the grotesque truth behind Pazul's gospel of a new Eden. Sentient beasts ruling over a docile human herd. Amar! He will close the distance shockingly fast when he creates duplicates. Look for the one that is armed. Deacon veils are holy regalia in Pazul's eyes. They will open this gate even if their bearer is dead. On Tau, the wolf roamed without prey. He was created in the image of ancient records from old Earth, a naive tribute to ecosystems long extinct. Those savage jaws were never meant to bite. Amar thought himself a hunter. Now, he is a mere trophy. Good job.
So I have 7 of red sharks. That's good. That's good. All is good. All is good. Go back to there. Put it on. Dematerize. Dematerize, why not? Alright, what things do we have? Didn't I already do all that? Weird, I've already done this. Huh. Oh, well, whatever. We have survived. That would do. Awesome.
You must provide cover for a lone Tenno operative. Set off the alarms and keep the infested busy. A steady stream of toxic spores is being released into the area. Hold on. Emergency life support is inbound.
Hold up. Let's get them. There we go. I need to get all the energy I could.
Prepare for life support.
Let's recast them.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
Recast them now. What the f- I'm sorry, what? No, you should not be done. What is going on? This is good.
Life support on the way.
So how much strength do I have when I cast it without Mataron and such? So that would make them fire 223% faster along with electrical damage. enemies would be 111% more vulnerable to damage. Health, so they basically get times 8 damage and basically times 6 health. Okay. And this will still fully armor strip, and that's, yeah, nothing. So, what if I do it with 40%? We get 125%, 251, 9, 7. Good. Alright, just checking.
Additional life support has arrived.
Crap that. Nice. Alright, drop the Viking. Shit's nice. 90%. Nice. Alright, is everything? Yep, there we go. Alright, let me see. So, they do 286%, 143%, 10 times 10 damage, and times 8 health. Okay, yeah. Crazy. And this is without Tower on Red Shards, so nice.
When you need it, extraction is ready.
Let me wait for the action. He's done the thingy on me already, even though he's all the way up here. There we go. Let's get out of here now. See, I got a good selection for Bazarin. I thought it was Barzarin, so I apologize for that. See, we got a good selection for Bazarin, so should be fun. Because I have to do Bazarin, and then I need Madarite, and then that's literally it. Because I'm only missing like 2 to... Hold on, let me think. I think Madarite, all I'm missing is the title. I think Bazarin, I'm missing both the title and the paint. But I think Madarite, I've got everything but the title. highly possible. I could be wrong, but I'm
The
highly
spores
possible.
have almost completely saturated the atmosphere. You need to get out of there.
You are a blade. You exist to strike. You strike to win. The lesson ends.
Nice. Also, I figured out how to get to the guilty thing for the Preta, so let me switch. So first, you have to have Uriel equipped. You gotta be Uriel. Second, you have to go to Deimos Sanctum Atomica. You have to go to Lotus. Let me get there. Give me a minute. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna really do the guilty because it's literally a hard mode, which usually I would complain too much, but since it's a Warframe hard mode, it's ridiculous, and also you have to fight all 3 bosses. So you come here to here's Lotus.
To relive
so you come to
the
Lotus.
past. I believed in your strength then.
Where is it?
I still
Yep,
do.
you do the bow. Yeah, there you go. And you get the guilty.
You choose the harder path. As always.
Yep. So, yep, there you go. That's how you get the guilty. Yeah, that I didn't know. I literally went to the Wikipedia because I thought it was just like, oh, it's gonna be there, but nope. So yeah, then you come here for your villain, and then you toggle the guilty. As you can see, they are like 100 levels higher, and like I said, it's a hard mode. Also, they added Trinity. They added Trinity to the Vanguard, so there's like one more Warframe, and it's another healing Warframe for them, so that's fun. Yeah, what else do I need? Already done the calendar. We got Folly being built, and now it'll take 22 hours and 33 minutes, so on. So we still got like a day or so yeah. Let me look at this real quick. I don't think disruption, spinning, exterminate. Well, hold on. Grindel, Cora, Gallus, Necros, Oberon, Furlex, Facilia, Akenbrand. Pretty sure that, yeah. Oh yeah, Nidus. I need Nidus. What do I have for Nidus? I need Chase's systems. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can do some Defurium before it ends. Why not? Yeah, we have the new unannounced update coming out April. They didn't exactly say when, just that it's in April. That's it. Of that, we do have a new Prime Access coming out, which will be Varuna Prime. Trailer is very nice and gory. If you do not like gore, well, it's not like their insides become out like that. More like dismemberment and such. So, like I said, if it's not your game, perfectly fine. That's just a heads up before you watch it, and then you see more beyond your comprehension. Well, you get it. What was the unique trait for this? Blockheim absorbs up to 4 hits of elemental damage and applies 17.5 of that damage to the next attack. Okay. Dashing 1,500. 1,000. Garbage. Alright. Okay, just checking. Alright, let's go in. Yeah, since this is normal mode, I'd rather just stay in solo as
History dictates that this Tenno asset was destroyed in a grave setback to the cause. Let us rewrite that event.
Let's do that, why not? Never hurts. Never hurts. Why is my bar not filling up? Why is it not filling up? This is really weird. Do I have to start the defense and then it can start? Or what? This is weird. Do that, why not?
Enemies incoming. Stand fast.
Okay, now we're sure. Yeah, Gauss? Well, obviously he's gonna be stupidly tanky. But actually, yeah, he should be even tankier in Fury, because you can still take toxin damage, and then sometimes there'll be toxin Exodus. So, having the damage reduction should create still like some really strong. I know I have it in front.
The enemy musters for a fresh
I kept it
assault.
on that, right?
Hold the line.
Whatever. It doesn't really matter. I probably could have switched to Zinnery to get more duration. It doesn't really matter. It's not gonna really matter. Anytime, there we go. I don't remember. Area on slide, attacks launch spectral X, increased melee damage, sprint speed,
Your resolve is being tested.
I get you.
Do not falter. No time to rest. Already a new onslaught begins.
Okay, that's gonna be nice. Okay, so I can't really do heavy attack. Well, obviously I can do heavy attack, but it's not gonna crit the thing.
Ashes. The enemy has been scattered to the void. I advise you not to be content with merely doing enough. The void angels that roost in the Zeraman are breaking into the Undercroft. Repair the damage to keep them at bay.
I don't really need
the ruptures can be closed, but only if you collect enough ambient void energy. Seize the globes that float nearby.
Overall good selection, so. I mean, decent to good selection, you know. Parallax is the main one going to just obliterate everything, but I don't know. Let's see. Why not? I don't really need to do a whole bunch of speed because I'm already stupidly fast. So there's no point to really do that.
The rupture is closed. The paradox stabilizes.
Oh, that's good. That it actually starts
Fight
to
on.
do a finish.
Close the ruptures as you would staunch the wounds of a comrade.
Okay, maybe not all the shots, but that's still. Alright, let's get these.
The Void Angels are unrelenting. You are all that is keeping them at bay. Hold fast.
Oh, damn it. Smudge. A little tiny smudge.
If the
was
Void
my
Angels break through the wall, their master will be freed. Do not allow that to happen.
Basically 3 hours. Much.
The breach has been sealed. Excellent work. Duviri's defenses are weakest here.
I've moved it.
You have done well to reinforce them. Will you lay your sword aside and rest? Or fight on?
Let's see. Sure. Why not? Sorry, what? No. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Sure. Hello. Goodbye. Lower accurate shotguns if you like. My god. Lower accurate indeed. Hello. Wait, is the damage reduction work on overdrive? I'm not curious. I doubt it, I want to try. I highly doubt it, might as well try. I don't think it does. I'll get some overdrive real quick. Yep, it doesn't. Okay. Alright, just checking. Yeah, damage reduction does not affect damage on it. Or at least thousands, but I don't think damage reduction can do anything.
What a waste! Your scarred vessel!
Yeah, you gotta make sure you at least get some progress into the modeling, and then shoot him. If you want to skip it. Because if you shoot him as soon as he spawns in or something like, sometimes he'll just continue to monologue until the monologue ends. So
leave now or later, but leave you must, for the Undercroft is inexhaustible. Secrets lie buried deep within the Undercroft.
Sure.
The Paradox provides the means to extract them. You must protect the excavators and keep them powered.
Spread code faster, or such like that, whatever. But yeah, we got new incarnates coming out. I just think it's like 4 to 5, maybe 4 to 6 incarnates, I think. It's something like that. Because we have the Tigris coming out, we have the Vectis coming out, Ballista Cut, the Rapier, the Des something, the Stug, some Fists. Oh, I can also throw 3 at once. Boom.
Extractor charge expended.
Okay. I know it needs a battery. If I had a battery, I'd give it a battery. I don't have a battery, you know?
Void treasure may now be extracted. excavator under attack.
But I kind of need a freaking battery for it already. And I'm getting like 0 batteries about my work on it. Oh wow, that one battery. So I was about to say, did the thing just magically disappear? Huh. Cool. You could even turn. I need to set up some damage.
Extractor
So I can get my energy
deploying.
up.
A void treasure has been located.
But I gotta move around and keep the battery up. Wow. They really just walked right on that. Okay. Actually, that's perfect. Let's grab this battery over here, put it into this excavator that will spawn in, and put those stuff around.
Extractor in place. Void treasure location established. Extractor requires power. out is now open to you. But further buried riches are here for the taking. Do not expect me to tell you when to stop. A corpus jackal. I do not know how it found its way into the Undercroft, but it cannot be allowed to report back. Avoid the beams.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. What? I don't know about my premise. I think I already grabbed two. Okay. There it is. Let's get to there. Do efficiency. That'd be nice, obviously.
A warrior must strike where the foe's armor is weakest. First, bring it down. Then work on keeping it down. Evade. You can attack later.
Wait, does the bar
You
go
have an
down every time you
opportunity.
take damage?
Take it.
Weird? I mean, it says
Flees
the
before your
rules
onslaught.
kinetic damage.
Hunt it down. Turn your fury upon what is vulnerable.
Weird. And it says, oh, like, it literally says absorb. Oh, let me double check this description. This makes no sense. Try armor plane that converts a portion of absorbed kinetic damage into energy. Also protects guys from being staggered or knocked down. Damage resistance. I don't know. I'm just saying that's still weird enough to me. I don't know. Is it whenever I take damage? Sure. No, it's just that. Oh no. Yeah, okay. So yeah, whenever you take damage with kinetic armor on, the progress goes down. Guess that's why I kept on draining quickly. That's my guess.
It has support. Change your focus.
Let's use it now, because why not? Not really close. There's something more over here. I was about to pull the trigger. I was literally pulling the trigger, but then it knocked me down. Where? No. Yes.
The foe has fallen. Stab it to the heart.
Nice.
Jackal destroyed. More will follow, no doubt. Some nightmares recur. It is my duty to make
So we have to get
extraordinary
to
demands of exceptional people.
4, 5, 6.
Your presence
We have to
is
get to
enough
tier
to
6.
hold the paradox at bay.
Wait, hold on. No, it's
But
no.
the
No,
environment
we have to get to like
itself
tier 8.
will fight to choke you out.
Pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure we have to get to tier 8. Because... or something like that, I can't remember. It's around that number. We're gonna have to do a good number either way. Near the end. Because we already have his main blueprint. But I still need chasing systems. Neuroptics, the first one you get. I don't do that, why not? Hello. Oh, I guess I don't have to hold it down if I have the joystick moving forward. Okay. So if I just... so you have to hold it for at least a second or so, and then you can just have the joystick action. Okay. It's been a while since I've done that.
Only 60 seconds remain. Life support is inbound. Your life support expires in 30 seconds. Life support replenished. Life support will be scarce. Do not waste it.
Probably should have been doing all that ice casting by buying off. Oh well.
30 seconds left.
Alright, let's pause this then.
Life support has been activated.
Seconds.
Seconds remain. You walk the blade's edge. This struggle goes on for as long as you can stand. Crucibles. Bizarre contraptions left behind from the time of Scholar's Landing. Master their alchemy.
Oh, it still has
to understand the elemental forces
I wasn't
you
sure if it was going to disable it. I thought it was going to just disable
a
it.
crucible.
Oh, good to know. Trying to find where the thing is. Where is it? Oh, where are the thingamadookies? Okay, there it is. Let's try that again. Boom, there we go.
You found a crucible. Now, liberate the necessary amphors from your enemies. The forces of heat and electricity unleash radiation when combined. The needed amphors at the crucible. Very good. Find another crucible. Mixing amphors of heat and cold creates a blast elemental force. that even in the depths of the Undercroft, the laws of alchemical science remain unbroken. I advise you not to be content
Okay, thank
with
you for
merely
just selecting a
doing
mission for
enough.
me, I guess.
This Tenno asset is destined to be destroyed by hostile forces. Intervene and change its fate.
That's fucking right. I highly doubt Slash Unstack is gonna fix it, but I'll try. Yep, oh my god, okay. I can't do anything with the... What the fuck am I supposed to... Can I open this and then let go it? Nope, it still shows up. What the hell? I'm very confused what I'm supposed to do, man. Alright, let me see if I can Google the answer. What does Discord message me about? So no enemies are gonna come. Oh god. That is a weird YouTube recommendation. Okay. Alright, I'll do that. Wait 1 to 2 minutes. Sometimes UI is just lagging. The squad is voting the time at 0. Wait for a few moments to see if they toggle menu, pause, spam, menu, switch to solo slash public go-to. Wait for loadout decree. If you're stuck in the go back to the decree sound.
The winds blow fiercely. The rains do not relent.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck.
Still,
I can't do
the stout
anything.
bow stands.
Basically, is what it's saying. But unless they down me and it forces it to go away, I don't know. We'll see. Nope, it's still there. I guess we'll just bleed out. Thankfully, it's safe progress now. Oh, boy. Okay, if I have to wait for them to just... Yeah, I can't even revive myself, so yeah, I gotta just wait for them to destroy the target, I guess. Okay, I'm good. Cool. This may take a while. This may take a while. I can't really recall when it has done this to me, so I don't know. It's stupid. Whatever. Oh, well, let me get crap situated while that does that. Why is it? I don't understand. I don't know. This is. I don't know. This is just dumb. Yeah, I don't understand. So, let me try leaving. Let me see if rejoining Warframe fixes it, but I have a feeling it's gonna reset the prizes and such. So, we'll see if it does or doesn't. Oh well. If it does that, yeah, I'll just call it a stream. I mean, either way, I'm calling it a stream, but yeah. Whatever. My buddies want me to join them, so I'm gonna switch over to that game. So hold on, let me go. So I thank y'all for watching, and I hope y'all have a lovely day.